He said, I give you life more abundantly. Then God said, then he said, I give you life more abundantly. It shouldn't be no lack in your life. It's against the law. It's against the law of the kingdom for you to be sick, for you to be broke. Oh, glory to God. Y'all with me? It's against the law. But when you don't know the laws of faith and know the law, you think it's normal. Y'all with me? It ain't normal. The enemy is stealing from you. The enemy is stealing from you. The enemy is stealing from you. And you let him. You leave him the door unlocked because you think it's a trial of your faith when you ain't even in faith. How you gonna tell me I ain't in faith because your response ain't in faith? Y'all know? When that happened to you, you didn't respond in faith. You respond aggravated, frustrated, and mad. Y'all know how? Ain't I tell the truth? Your response wasn't in faith that you had faith in God. You was frustrated, you went to the doctor, or you went to the bank, you swapped your card. I like the bank thing better. You went to the bank, and you swapped your card, and you thought you had 200, and you had a 0. And you hit it again because you couldn't believe it. You hit it again, but you forgot about that check you wrote. And you said that devil, and you went to mad, you got upset, and you went in that bank storming in there like you was the devil. You didn't go in there with your got Jesus shirt on and everything. You didn't care at that time. Your $200 was missing. Was you acting in faith? Like God supplied you every need. You went by that 0, and that 0 upset you. And it changed and messed up your whole day. That wasn't operating in faith. Oh God. See, a lot of people think they operate in faith. You're not operating in faith. Oh, y'all looking at that like this. I'm digging deep in there today. Ain't God good? Because a lot of times I'm in faith. I'm just trusting God. No, you're not. You might be trusting God, but you're not operating in faith. And read that scripture from it. Did I give you where's that? Go to read from it.
But without faith, it is impossible to please God.
Hold it right there. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. Do you get that? So how you going to get something from God when you ain't pleasing God? How do you expect to get this from God when you ain't pleasing God? How many know that your children get rewards from you when they please you? Ain't God good? Sometimes they make them A's and stuff, and you just want to take them out to Hobo the Bad restaurant. He just want to get all they can eat and enjoy themselves. Because they please you. Ain't God good? See, and the thing is, you got to understand, it's impossible to please God. See, what you think please God is under the law of the 10 Commandments. So you use your govern your life through the commandments of God that the Gentiles weren't included in because they wasn't even acknowledging. They was heathens. And you didn't even get invited to the party until Acts. And God gave you 2. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. These are the 2 commandments with promise. But you govern your life by the 10. So you think when you keep the 10, you pleasing God. But you don't know your acceptance through the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And your praise and worship and believing in Him, what pleases God. But you take it upon yourself to give yourself some laws. Oh, I had a good holy day today. How do you think it was holy? Because your self-righteous self did everything right. Well, let me get off there. I read my Bible. I didn't get mad today. Praise God. I had my praise music on there cut in front of me and I just said hallelujah. I had a good day today. I feel anointed. Anybody need prayer? And that's how you think you can please God. Do you really know what pleases God? Now, I want to tell you. Hey, I tell you. Hey, what really pleases God, I tell you, is the acknowledgement of His Son. If you ever want to please God, just acknowledge His Son is enough. And He paid the price for every sin in the past, present, and future. He's worthy to be praised and glorified, even on the good day, the bad day, because He is Lord of Lords and King of Kings. Hey, He paid my price for me, that I may live an abundant life, a healed life, a prosperous life, a holy life, because of Jesus Christ. I'm a right. That's what pleased God. To come in a day of messing up yourself, but coming in knowing that if it wasn't for Jesus Christ, if it wasn't for His death and resurrection, if it wasn't for His blood shed for my sin, if it wasn't for Him washing me, if it wasn't for my strength, I'm healed. If it wasn't for the Lord, I wouldn't be here today. Give Him praise and give Him glory. It don't matter I'm here today. You don't give Him praise and give Him glory. You don't magnify the name of the Lord. You don't live up because of Him. When you know what really pleased God, when you really think you will like a blade of grass you hit today and go tomorrow. How you think your little acts cause you not to make it in? The only way to make it in is through Jesus Christ. You'll never be good enough or better enough. You'll never live good enough. You'll never be holy enough. You'll never be right enough. But because of Jesus. And when you walk into the house of the Lord and give Him praise and give Him glory, I didn't try to stumble, but I stumbled. I didn't try to do wrong, but I did wrong. I didn't try to tell Him off, but I told Him off. But I recognize if it wasn't for Jesus Christ, if it wasn't for the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, people think because of their lifestyle, it's because of your beliefs. Because not the perfect man. Where's the perfect man? Where's somebody do everything right? Where's the one that can call and judge another when he falls short himself? Where he at? Oh my God. Hey, you rather thinking that I can't praise Him today because I didn't act like they act. But let me tell you something. They might have acted better than you act, but they still got something that ain't. Let me get off there. Ain't no good. And when you learn what pleases God, when you can give Him all the glory and all the praise, when you know that if it wasn't for Jesus Christ, with all my heart, mind, and soul, I know if it wasn't for Jesus Christ, if it wasn't You say, I got to praise. I got to praise. Because I know if it wasn't for him. I know if it wasn't for him. I know if it wasn't for him. I know if it wasn't. I have to depend on the doctor. I have to depend on my job. I have to depend on my family. I have to depend on people around me. But I have to depend on Jesus Christ with all my heart, mind, and soul. I can believe in him and he'll move for me. He'll heal me. He'll deliver me. He'll set me free. My dependence is in him. Because he is my God. And when you don't please God, when you acknowledge his son, when you can acknowledge his son in every situation, in every circumstance, knowing that if it wasn't for the acts of Jesus Christ, the reason why I can't accept what I'm going through, the reason why I can't accept me living a life beyond my means, because I believe in Jesus Christ, that he paid the price for me, and I'm not paying it for myself. God don't need my suffering. Somebody already suffered for me. God don't need my sickness. Somebody already got sick for me. He already paid the price for me. God don't need me to go through nothing, because he already went through it for me. He don't need my testimony. Testimony already said, by the blood of the Lamb, and through my testimony, what he done for me. Oh God, I'm going through this. What? Jesus wasn't enough. They whooped him and beat him, betrayed him, and you think God needs some extra credit? God needs you to go through something and the whole world don't see you and the whole world don't know you. God has no respect of person. You only got a group that's going to see you. The whole world ain't going to see you. The whole world don't know you. Why you got to go through this? And I took deception. Not knowing what pleases God. After his death and resurrection, you still operate under the law. We all have to talk. Church folks still operate under the law. They talking about grace. That's why the praise have left the church. The worship have left the church. Because the church folks have found out I can't live this life and be perfect. So this week I can't praise because I ain't been that person that I know I am. That's why 1 week you on fire and the next week you quiet as a mouse because you messed up this week. And you didn't do right this week. Y'all ain't gonna talk. And I'm going to throw this in and finish my scripture. Him that waver need not ask for nothing. And you wave in every way. And you wonder why you ain't got nothing. Because you don't know the laws, the thing that really truly pleases God. The acknowledgement of his son. You're still trying to work it out. You're trying to live it. And you can't live it without God giving it. Oh God. Yeah. That's why you got room to talk about your preacher. Because you know he ain't perfect either, so you'll talk about the one that's in the head. Y'all talking about, you ain't going to talk about the little bit of him, but you talk about the ones up the head. They ain't right either. Guess what? I see them at. Because you think works. You think works that give them the right. But it's only through Jesus Christ that gives them the right. Oh, glory to God. Y'all with me now? Read the rest of that. What does it say?
For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Say consistent. I am a good day. I am a better day. I won't complain. You ain't consistent. Because you try to be righteous yourself. You know that? Huh? You ain't consistent because you bumped your head today. And you ain't consistent in knowing who he is. See, you got to know who he is. Say, know who he is. I say, do you know that Jesus was God?
Amen.
Do you know that Jesus was God in the flesh?
Amen.
Do you really know that Jesus said, when you see me, you see the Father? Do you really know when you worship and praise God for his son Jesus, you worship him God? Do you really think they separated? Or do you know that they are one? Do you really know God loved you so much that he gave his only begotten son? Do you know that son was him? Don't you know my daddy was Joe Wright, but don't you know I'm Joe Wright? Because I'm the seed of Joe Wright. So I am Joe Wright. Y'all let me get this. You don't know that Jesus was God? Because Jesus was the seed of God. That he went and put the seed into Mary. And he came out in the flesh. And he said, when you see me, you see the Father. Because you don't know whoever you come out of, that's who you are. Because you don't know that when he said the seed, he never said seeds. He said the seed of Abraham. I ain't mean to get this because y'all just, I don't know if y'all. When you don't know that seed, when you put out that seed, you never separate it from that seed. It's always just one seed in your lineage. That's why you break the curse in your lineage. Because you got the same seed. The same way. Some of you got some of the same way. I mean, hey! Oh my God, so you got to break the curse. But you think seed, God never said seeds. He said seed. The only time God says seed, when you spread the seed, which is the meaning for a different thing, is the word of God. When you spread the word. When you talk about people, he says seed. He said Abraham's seed. See, some of you thought we were talking about Jesus. No, we are the seed of Abraham. Say seed. Seed. When we walk in faith, we are born again into the faith of Abraham. So now we're the seed of Abraham, because now Abraham is the father of faith. So now, since we've been born again in faith, you weren't born again without faith, so you had to have faith to be born again, so you had to come into the seed of Abraham to get saved. I need to go to some college or something. Take yellow. You know, and so you don't understand that when you be, why do I say you are blessed? You are blessed. You are blessed with the seed of Abraham. When you walk in your faith, the same results he got, you can get the same result. The same God moved for him, ready to move for you. Why? Because you're the seed of Abraham. God said, I will not destroy them because I promised David that Solomon, I will build my temple. He wasn't right, but because he was part of the seed. I had to keep my word because of the seed. I didn't keep my word because of the enemy do? Keep you off balance. Keep you off balance. When was the last time you got a revelation about your life? What you been dealing with? What you draw your attention to that the enemy caused you to draw your attention more to your situation and to God? He knows he can keep you out of faith. He can keep you out of healing and prosperity. Because faith moves God. So long as he can keep you tied up, trying to be righteous yourself, trying to be holy yourself, trying to please the people around you, trying to get things in your life, you can't be diligent. Oh, yeah. Some of you trying to multitask and you can't multitask because you can't give your all to God at the same time. Some of y'all want to help people, but you can't pray no more like you used to. You can't seek God like you used to. You can't read no more like you used to. You can't meditate like you used to. You can't fast like you used to. Oh, glory to God. Woo. Because you don't understand the trick of the enemy is to get you from being diligent, consistent. Oh, God, y'all have seen it. You get God part-time, you get a world full-time. You get your job full-time, you get God 10 minutes. Oh, hallelujah. You understand? But you want God to speak to you by being prosperous when you only give him 10 minutes. And you're supposed to give him 3 hours on Sunday. Because you come up in here. And you really don't want to do that. They got to do it. But you know if you want to get prayer, you have to wait. So you put up with it to get what you want. They got to do it. And that real stuff. The enemy don't want you to be dealing because without faith, it's impossible to please God. And he's the reward of those who diligently seek him. Man, God ain't blessed with you. Are you diligent? Are you diligent? In other words, are you consistent? Well, I did it for about 10 minutes 2 days ago. Well, if it was so important to you, why you ain't diligent? If you want to change in your life and you really believe God gonna change it, why you ain't diligent? Why you ain't consistent? If you really God gonna heal you and you believe God gonna move your life, why you ain't consistent? If you believe God gonna bring some things in your life and change in your life, why you ain't consistent? He said, I'm a reward of those who diligently seek me. But him to come to me got the person of who I am. It's some qualifications in there. You got to qualify for this. You ain't just gonna get this. Woo, y'all ain't gonna talk to me now. See, you think because you become a Christian, you think everything's free. He'll give you the Holy Ghost. But what's the use of using it if you don't know how to work it? He gave you the gift that can get you to get everything. But you don't know how to work it. Hold on, let me talk. I'm filled with the Holy Ghost and there with fire. Working. What do you mean? Working. Why your life is like it is? You got all this power and all this anointing and you ain't working that. The devil tearing you up. And every time God give a man of God a word to give you, you looking at me, you looking at us crazy. When you got all this in you and don't even know how to tap into it. You ought to have me lined up if you want to hug. If you know how to tap into this Holy Ghost. Hallelujah. You ought to have the banks calling you for all kinds of stuff. Because you got to tap into this Holy Ghost. Ain't left the house mail just coming in. Because you diligently seeking him. And you praising him and glorifying him. And you lifting him up about his son, how good he is, how I'm free, how I got life more abundant, like I have a prosperity in mind. Oh God, all this is my God, I give you praise that I'm a child of the kingdom of the heritage. I'm an ambassador in Christ. Come to me now. Oh, shut up. But you've been taught religion how to live right. That's what y'all call it, how to live right. But you ain't taught how to do it right. But you've been taught how to live right. Church folk fighting on who living right. They ain't fighting on who doing it right. Talking about what somebody doing in their life. Why don't you teach them how to live right? You teach them how to live right, but you don't teach them how to. Because you think it's about living right. No, it's about doing it right. Learn how to operate in the power of God right. Knowing how to please God right. Knowing what please God. But you out here rolling sides with your sister and brother. Because you heard about their two moves. Y'all ain't talking about and judging folk. When you ought to be able to break the curse and every demon blind and demon that's blind their eyes, God open their eyes so they can see. I command that demon that I got power over principality, power of the doctor. And if the devil come on y'all, because they're going to say, devil, I command you to open their eyes, they can see, and let them be clear in their decision. Because they making decisions, but they ain't clear because they can't see. Open their eyes so they can see. I command that blind demon to go in the mighty name of Jesus. Now it's up to the individual to make their decision, but you ain't doing none of that. And that's what that Holy Ghost gave us to get up there. He said, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. But principality, power, dark, wickedness in high places. We wrestle not against folk. Y'all know how. See, the enemy used all these things so you won't be diligent to get your attention. Everything to throw you off from praise and worshiping God and operating God, doing the spiritual things you need to do to seek God out. All these things that you all caught up in and thinking you holy and you're crooked. And the only way you're holy is because God, Jesus keeps you straight. When God sees you, he sees Jesus, he don't see you. But he only do that when you know how to please God. See, folks don't people use that to make people think they're all right, but they really don't believe that themselves. Because if they believe it themselves, they wouldn't worry about what people say. Because they know God see me through the eyes of Jesus. And I know if it wasn't for Jesus, I'd be in trouble. If I wasn't for Jesus, the devil would take me out right now. Because I'm not righteous of myself, but it's only through Jesus Christ. But when you don't see through that, you see with the eyes of God, you can see some of them more than others. Some righteous than others. Oh, y'all ain't gonna talk to me. You can't see us all the same. Because you got some of the righteous than others. You ain't seeing through the eyes of God. You ain't seeing Jesus Christ standing before you. Y'all with me? You see the enemy, you see the person, but you don't see Jesus. So you're not seeing through the eyes of God. Because you don't even know what to pray for them about because you see Jesus Christ having mercy on them. God keeping them through Jesus Christ. It's not grace got them, it's mercy got them. And you praising God and glorifying God and asking God to open their eyes so they can see. Because he said, I'm not going to slave with men always. So you intercede for them, praying for them, because you know, God, please don't leave them now. Don't, because they can't see. But because they would be acting like that if they could see. Oh, glory to God. And instead of doing spiritual warfare, you do a natural. Look at the person. At the people. Oh, y'all don't talk to me. Ain't God good? Because you want to look at the look, you can't see. You're not seeing with the eyes of God. But you're so holy. And you're so righteous. But you're not looking through the eyes of God. So you got to judge the spirit. Oh, y'all talk to me. You don't know that a judgment spirit is upon the people of God. That's why they can't get along, so they judge each other, because they can't see each other as the same. We all know in this house, deep down in our heart, if it wasn't for Jesus paying the price for all of us, we wouldn't be in here today. But we can't see each other through the eyes of God, through Jesus Christ, so we judge one another. Oh, let me get off that. That's for another day. Ain't God good? Because if we see through the eyes of God and we really knew who God was, I would look at you and I praise God for you, but I'll pray for you and intercede for you and lift you up before the Lord. Because I know the same God that saved me, saving you, saving me, saving him, saving her, saving if it was one for Jesus Christ, we all be in trouble. I know that. So the enemy brings division that way. And even the ones that's really wrong, they judge the ones that's right, because you're never right enough. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me. You talk about them and they dead wrong and you wrong too, because you ain't dead wrong, but you wrong. So when you talk about them, they can talk about you. Because the Bible said we all have sinned and fell short of the glory of God. Y'all with me? Y'all still here? Diligent, that's what anyone try to do. Go to Romans 3 and 24, 27, I mean. Romans 3 and 24, 7. Listen to this. Romans 3 and 27. I'm trying to get 24 out one time. You coaching over there, brother? I hear you over there coaching. Hey, God good. Praise God good. Go ahead, read, please.
Where is boasting then, it is excluded. By what law of works? Nay, but by the law of faith.
Hold it right there. Say, but by the law of faith. Faith is a law in how you operate in faith. You don't just say you got faith. It's a law how to operate in faith. You know? And see, well, I'm challenging you today, and I'm telling you today, when you leave here today, go look up what the laws of faith is. Find out what is the laws that I'm supposed to follow to get this manifestation and to please God. Because in order for you to see a manifestation in your life, you got to follow the laws of faith. You can't. That's why sometimes in some areas people get stuff and you look at the cross at it, but you don't understand why they got it, because they follow the laws of faith in that area. And sometimes they don't even know, they just know what to do. But they don't know that's a law. God promised that. God got to show up in my health. God got to show up in my finances. When I keep the laws of faith, God got to show up. Oh, yeah. Ain't no if, ain't no maybe. He gonna show up. mind? Ain't you tired of hearing all these good things about how good God is and you're not getting anything? You ever wonder why? Y'all gonna get this today. You ever wonder why God blessed them over there and they don't hardly come, but they doing something to get something from God in faith? And they don't even know, they don't stumble into the law, they don't even know a law. And they think they're going to heaven and everything because they got followed one law. But no. No, that's not that work. That's a law. That thing, if you abide by the law in this area, you get what that requires, what you get by abiding by the law. You can keep one law and don't keep another law and don't get blessed in your healing. Y'all gonna get this because y'all think that one, y'all think you can do one, come to church and shout on Sunday and you think everything all right and break all other laws of faith. That's why your money short. Someone says, speak with God. Say, I can't speak to you because you're stingy. Why should I speak to you when I know you're stingy? I love you too much to speak to you. God showed me the way. He said, nah. First of all, you ain't keeping the law. And I ain't got to talk to you. See, some of you understand. God has to do what he said he gonna do. God cannot renege on what he said. God will not renege on what he said. And if you keep that law, God cannot renege. But you don't know the law of faith. Oh, God, y'all live in there. Y'all with me? Y'all still here? Y'all like walk that long? Y'all still here? Okay. If I was dealing with something in my mind, on my mind, I will know the laws to get what I need. What's wrong with Christians? They want stuff, but they don't know the laws. Other religions know more about their book than you know about your book. But you want your book to work for you when you don't know the laws of your book. You don't even know how it was written. You don't even know where it comes. You don't know nothing too much about your book. But all you know, you believe it in your time. And you bold to them, you know. You bold to them. This ain't gonna happen to me. You have to look at it. Yes, it is. This is as sure as you breathe. Okay, what you say? Because you ain't bound by the law. God don't have to move for you. And those are things that you done got so caught up under grace because you don't understand grace has a law. In order for grace to operate on for you, you got to follow the laws of faith for grace to work. You think you can just say grace and it's working. You got to have a praise with that. You got to have a confession with that. You got to have a lifestyle with that. To cover all them sins you're talking about. I was just being real with you. You ain't got the praise to go with all that stuff you do. That praise you got ain't good enough to take a bath. Go on out nowhere. Y'all ain't saying much because you don't got saved and got in grace, but you don't know his laws with this stuff. should focus on how this operates. You need to dissect these things and learn how they work. Stop just taking what preachers say and don't go home and study for yourself and find out how this works. He's talking about faith. Let me go and research this faith and see how this faith and this all the faith works. Because I need me some finances right now. I need a supernatural move of God. I don't want to get jealous of Jacob and them, because in Isaiah, when they was worshiping either God, Isaiah, I was reading Isaiah the other day, and I'm about to say, I preach. I said, I'm about to preach to the people get jealous. They might go get them a calf and try to get God to move for them. So I can't preach that. I'm ready to put it down. Because guess what God said? God said, I'm going to move for you expediently. Because if I don't move for you speedily, you're going to think your calf, your idol worship got it for you. So I'm going to move for you right now, because I know you stiff-necked, hard-headed. And I know I got to move for you. Because if I don't move for you, you'll think that when it happens, you'll think somebody that your idol God did it. I said, oh Lord. I said, oh Lord, let me go with your calf right now. God said, I'm going to move expediently for you. Because you will turn away from me. I said, oh Lord. God said, I got to do this for you because you still ain't in your heart yet. Ain't got no patience. See, some of you got to understand something. You might not have no patience, but you say you do. You might not have you might not have what it will qualify you, but you say you have it. You're deceiving yourself, and God ain't got to move for you because you already think you got something and you don't have it. Deception will cause you to be hindered from getting what God got for you, because you won't do what you need to do to get God to move because you think you already got it. I got faith. Oh, you do? Where's that? Right here. Hallelujah. No, I should have seen it when you walk in the door. And when you open your mouth, it lines up to what you're saying. Because what you're saying don't line up to what you live in, don't line up to what you're saying. I'm trusting God. Okay, all right, whatever. It's not lining up. I'm just trying to bring some truth to you. You got to stop doing stuff and ain't getting nothing. Saying stuff and ain't living nothing. And I'm not talking about breaking laws and doing wrong. I'm talking about trusting God, believing God, and looking like you do. And act and sit and live like you do. I know God gonna make a way. He gonna make a way. Change is on the way. Is that right? Is that right? He gonna fix it out, brother. I know he's see me. I know he's see me. I know he's see me. Well, if he know you see me, and he know he's looking, why you ain't praising? He's looking at you. If he's looking at you, you know he's looking at you. Why you acting like that? And that's true. I know he see me, so I'm putting my shirt in and making sure my